Hello there. You and I are probably the same, right? When we open up our streamer box, about 90% of the patterns in there have never seen the water. So in this video, I'm gonna take the 40 years of fly fishing experience that I've had and talk to you about all the streamer patterns that have worked consistently for me over the years. Because when you go into the fly shop and you look at how many streamer patterns are in each little box or each little container at the fly shop, it can be very overwhelming to pick the right one. So I'm gonna boil it down to my top patterns if I were to build the perfect streamer box that always catch trout. And we're talking about rainbow trout, cutthroat trout, bull trout, and brown trout. And stick with me to the end of the video. I'll also tell you where to find all of these patterns that I'm talking about in today's video. All right, so my number one fly pattern is the Sculpzilla. I've caught a ton of fish, whether it's rainbow, cutthroat, browns, or even steelhead on the Sculpzilla. I would definitely have the olive, white, black, and orange colors in your box. And be sure to take special care, right? Sculpzillas come in two different sizes. I would have a box full of the larger sizes in those same colors, and I'd have a box full of the shorter, the smaller sizes. They only come in those two sizes. Have both of these sizes in your box. Next is the Coffee's Sparkle Minnow. I've caught a lot of fish on this particular fly. I don't know what it is. Maybe it just has a ton of flash and fish love that flash, but I would definitely get the natural color Coffee Sparkle Minnow, white and yellow. Those patterns, hands down, are one of the best sparkle minnow patterns out that I've discovered out there today. Next, and a little harder to find, are the yummy yellows. I don't know if this looks like anything, but every time that I put this in front of a fish, especially during early spring or fall, fish seem to gobble it up, especially the cutthroat. There's a couple of sizes of yummy yellows. I would get a few sizes for your streamer box. The next fly is a really great fly for brown trout, and that's the Gallup's flathead kitties in white, yellow, black, and olive. Be sure to have those colors in your box. That's a great fly, a lot of movement in the water if you're fishing, especially for brown trout. At least that's in my experience. They've been lights out for brown trout. The next fly is the Gallup's Mini Dungeon. This fly really is a great fly. The cool thing about this fly is it does have two hooks, so it's articulated. So you have a hook in the back of the fly and in the main body, so your hookup percentage is a lot better whenever you have that trailing hook at the end of the fly. But the Gallup's Mini Dungeon are just a great fly. And again, same kind of colorations to where you're looking for olive, white, black, yellow are all great colors. And right next to that is the full size, the Gallup's full size dungeons. Those things can really do well, especially if you have trout that are looking for a big meal. A lot of times I'll tie on the full size dungeon from Gallup. The next fly that really works well is the Dalai Llama. And this is usually a two-tone fly. A lot of times you'll have olive and white, black and white. Sometimes you'll get them all in the same color, but generally they have a big old long bunny tail, I think it is, that creates a lot of movement in the water and has a nice big cone weighted head. But I do like this fly. It's a fuller fly and just has done really well for me over the years. So be sure to have some Dalai Llamas in your box. Woolly buggers, right? These are classic streamer patterns. And you should have a lot of these woolly buggers, both weighted and non-weighted in your box. Again, I'm looking more for natural colors. I do olive, black, white, purple, right? Not necessarily natural, but it's super effective, both in bead head and non-bead head. And be sure to pick up some of the beads that are also colored, whether they're red or chartreuse colored beads. A lot of times, if you have a little color on that bead, just acts as more of an attractant. So be sure to have woolly buggers or buggers in your box. Next fly pattern is the jig leech. The jig leech streamer, it's kind of a mini streamer. These things can be so effective. I'm fairly certain it's the way that they travel through the water. The fish just cannot resist them. I've had a lot of luck with brown trout with jig leeches, both in the black, olive, and purple colors. So be sure to have some jig leeches in your box. Next is a fly that was designed in my home state in Spokane, Washington. The balanced leech really has been my go-to fly whenever I'm using a small streamer in lakes. And I think it's probably how it pulls through the water. That different reaction and almost just an unusual injured fish reaction has really done well for me when using the balanced leech. And again, the same type of colorations to where you're going with olive, black, white, purple, some tinsel hair. You can't go wrong with having a lot of balanced leeches in your box. They just really are a great streamer pattern. And try some of these when you're fishing still water. Put them under an indicator. Sometimes fish like that balanced leech just kind of drifting along and not really moving can be very enticing for a fish. So strip them and also put them under an indicator. Bunny leeches. Bunny leeches can be super effective, especially when fishing small creeks. You have that smaller mini micro streamer type pattern, and that bunny hair really moves around really well in different currents of water, especially in like a smaller stream. So be sure to have some bunny leeches in your box. And again, it's tan, black, olive, white, purple, can all be super effective when fishing streamers and these type of streamers. So on the last video I did right here on the best overall trout flies for trout, I did not do a very good job in showing you where you can find all these flies. So now check the description of this video or the pinned comment. I've linked every single fly that we've talked about in this video. And if you decide to buy, you just happen to be supporting a family-owned fly shop, Fly Fish Food. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. And until the next time, fish on.